Thank you so much for being here with us
Glad to be
today.
here.
Now, you had a coalition of CEOs that believes that corporate executives have the potential and the responsibility to advance solutions to global challenges.
Right.
From where you sit now, where do you see corporate executives placing their attention?
Sure. Yeah, I think our group's been around for about 15 years, was founded by Paul Newman, the actor slash salad dressing maker, and a number of CEOs with the notion that corporate America and the world's leading companies could be a force for good in society. And that's evolved over the last 15 years. And today I really think there's three areas where we're seeing really a lot of focus by senior management. First is that their work with NGOs is far more strategic than it had been previously. So the days of people come in, you write a check and move on, are largely replaced. And today what we're seeing is companies are investing more back in society, but are doing that with far fewer NGOs. So they're really more focused on what they do. And those efforts are usually connected back to key business needs. So like Gap, the clothing retailer, they focus on two areas. In the U.S. domestically, it's 16 to 21-year-olds who are good for the workforce and also good for their employees and getting them ready for the workforce. And abroad in emerging economies, they really focus in on empowering women who are making many of the products that are sold at Gap. So those are the two areas where they are really focused with their efforts. So strategic connection is one. Second is the companies are looking at this much more comprehensively. So again, instead of just the check, it might be a cash investment, it might be employee engagement where volunteers will go and focus on key efforts. It may be product donations, it might be intellectual property, it might be helping people sort out their supply chain. So there's really an array of solutions that companies are really looking to bring to the party. Mm-hmm. And I think finally, because these relate to business, and the old line in business is that which gets measured gets done, is a lot of emphasis on measurement. So those are, I think, the three things we're seeing: strategic, focused by businesses, really comprehensive look at what companies are doing, and then really going out and measure.
Okay. If you had to name just like one assumption that you think corporations make about international NGOs that would be helpful to dispel, what would you say?
Well, I think there's been a joint assumption that both NGOs and businesses have made is they can't partner and work together. And in this tripartite of government, business, NGOs, it was often business that was sort of on the sideline, whereas the NGOs and governments tended to kind of work together. And I think people have seen, I think over the last 10 or 15 years, and particularly of late, is that business may be able to really help be part of that solution from an NGO standpoint. And businesses are seeing that by working with NGOs, they can make some real progress on key societal issues that they don't know at all. Businesses are not businesses are used to kind of partnering with other people. I mean, businesses have a whole supply chain and vendors as well as customers and the like. The NGO world's a little bit different for them, but I think they're seeing some real successes. You have successes like FedEx and Direct Relief that did a terrific job in getting medicines to the Philippines during the terrible typhoon there. We're seeing things like Vodafone working with Safaricom in Africa and developing plans and programs. So I think we're seeing as people come to the table that each has something to really bring to the party, and that is dispelling a piece where I think companies didn't think they really could work with NGOs.
Okay, excellent. And final question, at Forum this year, it's our 30th anniversary, we're asking everyone... Thank you.
That's great.
We're asking everyone to answer this question, which is, what future are you building? And I wonder for you personally, what future are you building?
Sure. I've been CEO of for-profit companies in the past, publicly traded companies, and the reason I was attracted to this role, a few of the board members I had spoken with, is this opportunity, and really the belief of where CCP was started, is that companies truly could be a force for good in society. Sometimes they are part of the issue in society. And that was something to me that really kind of mattered, and be able to leave a legacy. And while we all have certain skills, but could we really rally these CEOs, this coalition of companies, to do more? I think that, to me, is what could be very exciting. Can we get more companies engaged to think about society and what they're doing and how they might have a positive impact? Can we get them to invest more in these areas, both for the good of society as well as for their own companies? Because I think that's when it really rolls well. And can we have a greater impact in terms of what we're doing? To me, that would be great. Edelman does this worldwide trust survey every year, and they talked with thousands of people around the world. remarkable number, 84% of the people around the world. 84% of the people around the world don't agree on what the color of the sky is, as we well know. But all agree that business could help society while also pursuing its own self-interests. And to me, that's something that wasn't in part of the game in the past, but I think that's very exciting in terms of what the future could be.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Congratulations.